Coming up, it's the AFC in Week 11. The Raiders lead the all-time series against the Bengals, but Cincinnati's won 3 of the past 4. And it's headed your way next.
NFL football has come to Southern Nevada as we are in the menacing new Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come into this one off a bit of a clunker last time out, a loss that ended their 5-game winning streak. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he returns this to the 22. Time to see the Bengals offense go to work. And leading them out, the #1 overall pick of the 2020 draft, Joe Burrow, now in his 2nd season out of LSU.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line because now if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Now they go play action now. Burrow under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. And the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And what a great call defensively there because they decided to bring pressure off the corner. And a lot of times, those big linemen, they can't account for the speed of a defensive back. And that time, he made a beeline right for the quarterback and got him. The cat blitz, tough to defend.
The quick feet by Jackson. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raiders getting ready to go to work for the first time, and they're led by their quarterback in his 8th season now in silver and black, Derek Carr.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. This defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
4 yards remain for second down. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out, finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now they'll throw with Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller pushing his way through. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
Yeah, and this is one of the best runs you'll see. A lot of times on these long touchdowns, you'll say he gets into the end zone untouched, but not here. He fought his way through contact, and it barely even registered, and he just continued down the field all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it winds up at 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Williams now on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Open man is Uzama. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And down to the 11. A big play there for Cincinnati.
First down, Bengals.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole. He's got one touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there, that brings up 4th.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Burrow on 1st down. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they've got it with 2nd down and less than a yard. A handoff to Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And the Raiders have got him. Corey Littleton drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Here's Kevin Huber now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. The open man here, Renfro. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Throwing now is Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Second and 5 at the 47-yard line.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Trey Hendrickson, an all-pro in New Orleans in 2020, there on the tackle. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth. And he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Carr now on 1st down. Catch made, it's Moreau. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Carr. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Touchdown! Darren Waller, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're passing here. Joe Burrow eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To Mixon on the check down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Again, it's Burrow. He wants it all for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders will take over possession here up at the 44. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. Baker Mayfield leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting New Orleans Saints. Taysom Hill leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Allen Robinson, 2 touchdown catches in the victory. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for the Bengals in that first half. And I can imagine the halftime discussions are about how can we improve the running game. They have not had success so far, and it's reflected on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. Both teams making their final adjustments before we get started once again. And for the call of the second half, let's send you back out to Allegiant Stadium and Brandon Gott.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play there for the Raiders. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got an open man, it's Ruggs. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive, because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes, because it was jab, 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 and finally the haymaker to put that drive away.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. You get the sense that they're saying, we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. Mixon with a 1st down and more. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48.
69 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 48-yard line. Burrow will throw. That's caught by his tight end, Uzoma. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. From the 41, Burrow. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
This is caught. It's Boyd. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. One of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They were losers to Kansas City a week ago, but they are out in front right now. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And there's a typical run by Josh Jacobs, one where as a defender, you have to make a decision about how you approach him because he's awfully physical with the ball in his hands. 12 touchdowns on the ground last year after 7 as a rookie, and he was a 1,000-yard rusher in each of his first 2 seasons. Wouldn't surprise me, with enough touches, he can easily crack the 1,500-yard mark.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Carr again here on 2nd and 10. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Larry Ogunjobi coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. So now Carr and the Raiders dealt a 3rd and long after that sack. Off the play fake. Carr. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Burrow looking to pass. He gets this one to Boyd. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Ready?
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Let's get off the field.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down. Here's Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. Touchdown, Bengals. T. Higgins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. They'll try and throw for it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by the linebacker, Corey Littleton.
It's interesting that when it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Raiders heading out to take over. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Time for Tyler Boyd and the rest of the offense to take over now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun to give to Mixon. Fights him off. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and the lead is up to 5.
Evan McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
And Carr's throw there complete to Ruggs. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Carr to throw. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Able to connect with Jacobs. First down now, but that clock rolling. Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
Now Carr. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals have just about sewn up this football game. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
Burrow down to a knee, and that should be the final act of this one. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though. A few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the 4th quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for Cincinnati, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will head home next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas.